Welcome to today's lesson for Academic Literacy 2 for Monday the 26th of April. This will be the last lesson before your teaching practice as well as before submitting your final assessment for semester 1, your research assignment. So to recap the previous lesson, we looked at what a discussion is in a research assignment as well as the conclusion. Then we looked at the different languages that you should not be using with regard to a research assignment. And then to ensure that your work is understood, it was recommended to give your work to two of your friends that would provide you with objective feedback regarding your research assignment and whether your argument that you have made or presented is understood by them as a potential reader. Your task for last week was to work on your draft discussion and conclusion. This week's lesson is going to conclude or round up your research assignment, and that is with regard to your reference list. Now, the Cape Peninsula University of Technology uses the Harvard referencing style. To save time on this lesson, we will not be looking at all the different styles that you do get in different institutions across the world. For today, we are only going to focus on the one that you should be concentrating on at the end of your research assignment, and that is the Harvard referencing style. Now, here are a few examples of what a journal article or magazine article, one that has been retrieved from a reliable database, and this is what the reference will look like. So this is a reference list at the end of your assignment. We're going to keep it simple this semester. We are not going to look at in-text referencing. That is when you refer to these authors inside of your literature review. We are only going to focus at the reference list at the end of your assignment. Now I'm going to point out the key areas. At the beginning, you will have the author's surname. Okay, so let me just put this arrow like this. There we go. You have the author's surname at the top. That is followed by his initial. No, that's followed by a comma, then a space, then his first initial of his name, a full stop, the second initial should he have or she have a second name, and then a final full stop, then a space, the year in which the article was published, then a full stop, then a space, and then the name of the article. Check your spelling, and at the end a full stop. After that, in italics, you will indicate the journal from which this article came from or the database. So that would be in italics, and after that you would put a colon, and then these numbers over here, right? You will notice the difference between the first one. Oops, let me just get this arrow going. There we go. You will notice the difference between the first example and the second. The second example has a number and then another number in the bracket. That's known as your volume and issue number. Now, usually they will be given to you perfectly in your article at the end or at the beginning. But sometimes it will be written out in full, volume and issue. So your volume number comes first and your issue number comes in brackets. Thereafter, you will put another colon and then the page numbers. Because remember, a journal is found within a compilation of journals. So the journal you are reading might fall within certain pages of the compilation. So you have to indicate which pages or page range, so 34 to 36, page 12 to page 15, page 34 to 37, you need to indicate where your journal article is. And thereafter you will indicate the publishing house or the month in which the journal was released. If you are going to use any government gazettes from the Republic of South Africa, the following are examples of how you would provide that in your reference list. You will start with South Africa, then the department from which the gazette comes from or the publication, the year, and usually there's an A or B situated on the publication. Then in italics, the name of the article or publication, and at the end, Pretoria, Department of Education for this example. The same can be seen over here, and the same can be seen over here, but this is a different department again, Department of Home Affairs. So maybe you use statistics and you gathered it from Department of Home Affairs. So the layout is pretty much the same with the country in front, the department, then in italics the name of the publication, and then the province and the printer name. So that is your last section of your assignment, your reference list. And you should have 5 or more, but nothing less than 5, because the previous assignment asked for you to research at least 5 articles. The formatting requirements. These are the requirements that you would apply to your full research assignment document. The font you will use is Arial, the size 11, the line spacing 1.5 line spacing, and you will use the full justification for your text. I trust that in your computer literacy component you have learned all these functions and know how to use them properly. Should you have any queries with them, do not hesitate to contact your class rep or myself. Now your declaration page and using the prescribed task document, let's have a look at a sample that I've created. So the task document opens up with your declaration page, and this is a declaration of authenticity indicating that this is your original work. And should any plagiarism be found, your marks will be withheld pending a review. You need to indicate your name, your student number, your signature either electronic or by way of text, and then the date of submission, which is any day from, I would say, from tomorrow, because you would still require some time to compile your reference list, do your formatting, and then revise your work. So between tomorrow and the 2nd of May at 23:59. The submission link is already available on Blackboard, so you are welcome to start submitting your work on Blackboard. Once that is done, you would have your mind map. Now your mind map indicates your topic in the center. So I've chosen a different topic again because we've been using teenage pregnancy quite a lot. So I've chosen employee satisfaction. From your mind map, you will be looking at different main ideas. Now mine has 6, yours might have 4 or 5. So please don't think that because I have 6, you must also have 6. It all depends on your topic and your main research areas. So for example, my areas of interest with regard to employee satisfaction, I would be looking at their productivity. I would be looking at management, promotion opportunities, feedback, induction or training of staff, and then continuous development of staff skills. So that's my simple example of my mind map. Now I could take this even further. So from productivity, I can list, for example, training. I can list, is it monthly, is staff consulted, staff consultation. So here you are expanding on your main idea. So this is just an example, and this will give me an overall idea of what is going on in your mind regarding your topic and the theme that you have chosen to research. Then I have taken all this information now and populated it into the template that I have provided. So for example, the title I did at the end, and I'll tell you why. because your title is what should grab the attention of the reader. But your title will not be understood unless you know what your problem is that you're researching, what the question is that you're aiming to answer, what your research aim is. So only once you have completed these sections will your title become so much easier to complete. So for example, my introduction and background will be, why am I researching this? So I'm just doing a quick recap. So you can pause at this time of the video and just read a very brief introduction of how I would have introduced my topic regarding employee satisfaction. Then you can look at the problem statement that I have developed. And please remember that your problem statement is no more than 2 sentences, clearly stating the problem you aim to present with your research. Then, what is your main research question? And what are the 3 sub-questions that will help you answer the main research question? What is your research aim? And what are the objectives for you to achieve your aim? So again, you can pause the video here and just look at the example I've populated for you. Then your literature review is your next main section. And this will be regarding the 5 articles that you have selected to present your work. These will be authors that agree with you or disagree with you, and authors that have also researched in your field. So all you are doing is a literature review. Please do not plagiarize. You are only to express, paraphrase, or summarize what authors have said regarding your topic. Do not use bullet form. This must be an essay style with proper paragraphing. Remember, 1 sentence equals 1 idea. Do not mix up or try and cluster thousands of ideas in 1 sentence and just separate it with commas. You are going to lose the reader and you will be penalized for that. 1 paragraph equals a group of related ideas. So if you look at how I have broken this up into 4 different paragraphs, the first one will indicate maybe what one author said. The second paragraph will be another author that maybe agrees with him similarly. Then another paragraph could be however. So now you will be talking about authors that maybe disagree and their viewpoint. And then the next paragraph that I made was just a brief summary of what was said at the beginning of all 3 paragraphs. So again, this is just an example, but your should be between 500 and 750 words maximum. Then last week's lesson was regarding the discussion and conclusion. So based on your literature that you have done at the top, you will now indicate, do you disagree or agree with the authors? You will not put your personal opinions up here in the literature review. You will do it at the bottom in the discussion. Please remember to present your work in a logical manner and not use emotion, okay, to present your information. Then in conclusion, now that your research is done, tell the reader in a nice summary and link your title, introduction, problem, main research question, and literature review, and show how you have achieved your research aim. Your maximum words here is 100. Then you would have your 5 references using the Harvard referencing style that we've just spoken about. And that would be your task document. So please pause at any point at this time of the video and check out the information that has been given to you as an example. What to do next? Once you are done with the full document, it's always good to let it rest. So sleep on it for about a day or 1 day, for example, and wake up and read the full assignment with a fresh mind and a fresh set of eyes, ears, and focus. Then start removing unnecessary words and start replacing them with academic vocabulary and grammar. You will start seeing your words will start reducing if you have too many words, or if you have too little words, you need to consult your literature review and your work again so that you can add additional ideas to make up your word count. Please do not repeat the same thing using different words. It is easily identified and you will be penalized for repetition. The marking rubric or the mark allocation. So your assignment is out of 100, and you can pause at this time of the video to see how that 100 is split up between the different areas that I will be marking. So once I have allocated or found your assignment on Blackboard, you will then receive feedback within a month or two before your teaching practice is over, and you would see this exact same indication and your mark out of 2, 2, and so on. The most marks is found here under your literature review, counting 20 marks, and every other section within your assignment, such as your main research question and sub-questions, your aim and objectives, your discussion and conclusion. And there is even a mark given for the golden thread, and that is the link that will be identified throughout your work. So please make sure that you also use correct grammar and vocabulary. Right, so this is a short task overview of what you have started off with and where we have ended on today. So please make sure that you have consulted this, and by now you should be at point number 8. Your final instruction for the semester is to review all your work, provide your reference list, and submit on Blackboard. When you upload to Blackboard, there will be a folder and an assignment link under the Professional Practice 2 component, and the assignment name or task link name is S121 task. The deadline is the 2nd of May 2021 at 23:59. Do not wait until the last minute, because the traffic and the internet will be very loaded if everybody is only waiting until the last minute to submit their work. Only 2 attempts are allowed per student. This is non-negotiable. So please make sure that you have checked your work before submitting. And if you are unable to submit by the 2nd of May, you need to provide a valid reason plus proof. So whatever reason you are giving, it needs to be accompanied with proof. Have a wonderful time on your teaching practice starting at within the next month. Enjoy it, learn from it, and take away valuable experiences from it as well. That's the end of today's lesson. If you are watching this, great, you are already on the lesson version. If you are looking at the PowerPoint version, please click on the link that will be provided here to access the video lesson version. I look forward to receiving your assignments, your queries, and your feedback. And remember, solution before problem or excuses.